I'm going to take a week off to let my muscles rest and avoid overtraining. Those words from someone who's been training for just a few weeks. That's not recovery, that's surrender. And it represents everything wrong with modern fitness culture. Sam Sulek didn't ask permission to become a phenomenon. He didn't follow the rules. He didn't hire a team of experts or buy into the industry expensive lies. He just trained. He just trained hard. He just trained hard every day with a phone in one hand and chocolate milk in the other. And he's exposing a truth that terrifies every certified guru with a weekend certification. Maybe we've been doing this all wrong. 30 years ago, when I started training, the gym wasn't a photo shoot location. It was a sanctuary. I trained 2 hours daily, sometimes more. Not because some algorithm told me to do it, but because I was addicted to the feeling. When they opened the gym on Sundays, I felt childlike joy. But here's what I learned the hard way. Even obsession has limits. Training 7 days straight didn't optimize recovery. So I pulled back to 5 days, Monday through Friday. And my gains exploded just like gunpowder. But notice what I didn't do. I didn't took a week off after 2 weeks of work. Because here's the secret beginners are missing. You can overtrain what you haven't trained hard. You can overtrain what you haven't trained hard enough in the first place. A novice can't generate the nuclear intensity that a veteran unleashes after years of war in the Iron Empire. A couple of years ago, in my 40s, I trained twice daily, morning and night. My body adapted and improved because real training creates real adaptation. Taking a whole week off after barely starting, that's not recovery. That's looking for an excuse. Then, Sam Sulek emerged from the depths of social media like lightning in the darkness. No professional lightning. No script content. No 6 weeks transformation scam. Just brutal honesty. His training, his simple diet, his tangible progress, and most importantly, his genuine, irrational love for the gym. I'll be honest, I was skeptical at first. If Jake Paul isn't a boxer, Sulek isn't a bodybuilder. That's what I thought. But I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Paul reignited interest in boxing. Sulek has done something even more revolutionary for bodybuilding. Here's what happens while the industry was busy selling overpriced programs, fancy supplements, and Instagram aesthetics. Sulek was building his myth brick by brick, rep by rep. And then he did the unthinkable. He stepped on the stage at the Arnold Classic, an amateur competition, and he earned his professional card. Critics went silent. The impossible happened. The social media anomaly became a legitimate competition. But this wasn't luck. This wasn't overnight success. Sulek had been living in the gym for years and years. A voluntary prisoner in a dungeon of iron and sweat. Just like I did in my 20s and 30s. Self-imposed confinement. Not a hobby, not a content creation, just a way of life. Listen to what Sulek represents. Rest days? No, thanks. Deload weeks? No, thanks. Light weights for mind-muscle connection? No, thanks. Expensive gym clothes? Once again, no, thanks. Climate-controlled luxury facilities? No, thanks. Certified trainers charging fortunes? No, thanks. This is punk rock bodybuilding. This is do-it-yourself culture applied to iron. My cardio was walking to the gym at 5 in the morning in that winter. My bulking diet was a liter of whole milk every day. I started with concrete blocks and scrap pipes in my parents' backyard. The first gym I trained in had no windows. It had a rusty tin roof. It was freezing in winter and an oven in summer. And I love it with irrational passion. There were no gurus selling generic meal plans via WhatsApp. No fancy creatine brands. No experimental peptides. Just eggs, red meat, and milk. Period. No internet with infinite resources. You learn from wrinkled magazines and trial and error, using your body as the unique laboratory. I could have followed Mike Menser's heavy-duty protocol perfectly. But sometimes I went crazy with excessive volume. 15 sets of deep squats. And my legs grew like never before. What Sulek represents is a revolutionary return to that golden era. Pure instinct, raw adrenaline, the primitive pleasure of getting under a bar loaded with monstrous weight and moving with it with iron will. Sulek is about knowing yourself better every day, centimeter by centimeter. Nowhere do you know yourself better than lying on a bench with a loaded bar when it lowers slow and your life depends on pushing it up one more time. Back to basics. Deep squats, barbell deadlifts, post bench presses. There's no mystery here. Machines are fine if you max out the weight until cables threaten to snap. Isolation exercises work when they are heavy and leave you breathless. Arthur Jones and Mike Menzer carved this lesson in stone. Progressive intensity and load, not comfort for the ego. Dropping weights when you can't go anymore. Hearing that metallic clang and floors shaking crash, that's a mortal sin in today's sanitized gyms with the absurd rules. Sulek trains the same muscle group multiple times a week. What's heresy for the dogmatists? And for his professional debut at the Arnold Classic in March, his prep team is just him. No guru, no expensive coach, no 10-person squad. Will he win? Probably not against seasoned veterans. But here's the thing. The Ramones never had platinum albums, but they transformed rock forever with records and lots of attitude. Sulek probably won't win the Arnold on his first try, but he'll measure himself against competitors who spend millions on equipped gyms and teams monitoring every gram of food and every hour of sleep. While training to failure becomes an empty cliche repeated and repeated by influencers, Sulek uses brutal, strategic response. Going beyond technical failure, maxing out intensity, absolutely. Tom Platz and his legendary legs, Mike Menzer and his intensity principles. That's the lineage. Sure, it's easier at 20 with sky-high natural testosterone, but it's not impossible at 40. I know from personal experience. While modern influencers obsess over expensive brand clothes, experimental peptides, and professional lighting for the perfect angle, Sulek records himself with a phone in hand like a raw documentary and drinks chocolate milk for bulking. Sulek is the authentic punk rock of bodybuilding, a true outsider who doesn't ask for permission. Beautiful anarchy against rigid orthodoxy, against overproduced artificiality, against gurus with dozens of weekend certification framed on walls. Yes, eventually he'll need to adjust. The body changes with age, we all adapt. But right now, he's maximizing his biological window. Peak natural testosterone. Optimal response to sustained effort and considerable volume. He treats himself as a living experiment, not a passive guinea pig in someone else's laboratory. He is Bruce Banner and Hulk simultaneously, the scientist and the volunteer. The duality is his superpower. Sam Sulek revolution poses one uncomfortable question that echoes throughout the entire fitness industry. What if we absurdly overcomplicated muscle growth with unnecessary science and marketing disguised as knowledge? The answer terrifies thousands of self-proclaimed experts because it suggests something really revolutionary. Maybe the secret was never the perfect 12-week program, never the magic supplement, never the complex periodization protocol. Maybe it was simply the iron will to do the hard work, even when it's brutal, even when it's ugly, even when no one's watching. When there are no cameras, no likes, no external validation, just the will to load 1 more kilogram on the bar than yesterday, to squeeze out 1 more rep when the muscle screams to stop, to come back tomorrow, the day after, next year, to turn the gym into your personal temple and iron into your religion. Sulek hasn't reinvented the wheel of bodybuilding. He's done something more powerful. He's reminded us that the wheel always worked perfectly. We just needed the courage to use it without asking anyone's permission. The iron doesn't lie.